Hey, my name is Michael Butler. I figured I'd show you about how to, rebuild a carburetor real quick. Now, this is a one-barrel carburetor used on, edgers, and, well, I guess you could use on a mower, depending on what kind of mower you have, but this is off an edger. You have the little primer button right there. This is what's called an idle mixture screw right there. Okay, you might see it if I can get in the light right here. You twist it inward or outward to let less or more gas in. Okay. Now rebuild one of these very simple actually. Over here for a minute. You want to take out if you take out this mixture screw, you want to make sure you count how many turns it takes to back it all the way out. But see, if you don't count the turns and you go to put it back in, what's going to happen is you're going to say, okay, I don't know how many turns it took, and then you got to be like, well, tighten it all the way up and back it out too, and tighten it up half a turn, and it's a pain in the butt. So count the turns it takes when you back it out. Now, if you don't want to back it out on this particular edger, all you really have to do is, instead of backing a screw out and having to readjust it, just take a little wrench like this and just loosen this bolt right here. Okay, this bolt holds on the fuel pan. Okay, this right here, and as you can see, the mixture screw stays in. Now, when you take off this little bowl, this float bowl, you see, ta-da, a little float. Okay. Now, sometimes when you get an edger that won't start and you don't smell any gas, yeah, it could be that gas isn't getting past the filter and through the hose. It could be that the gas and air mixture isn't detonated. Okay, it could well be those things. That's why you don't smell gas. But sometimes it just gets stuck. See, inside here, there's a little float. This float, and there's like a little. There's a needle. Okay, and what happens is when the float is down all the way like that, it means there's no gas in this little bowl right here. Okay, no gas whatsoever. As the gas in this bowl fills up, the float slowly pushes upward until it reaches the top. And that little needle shuts off the gas. No more gas. That's it. Zero. Leave it alone. Okay? Now, they have a little pin. You can't really see it good on this webcam, but right there, you'll see like a little pin. If you just pull that pin out with a pair of pliers, this float will come off and you can put a new pin in case it's rusted. And you might want to take some carburetor cleaner and spray the throttle butterfly valve and spray some inside where the filter goes. Spray some up where the gas comes out, where the needle valve is, just a little cleaning. And clean the bowl out. Because somebody see that rust in there, sometimes that little rust will, cause the jets to fail in the engine. And then you'd put a new gasket. There's no gasket in there, so you want to put a new gasket on. Then you just screw it all back together. Don't tighten it up too tight, because if you do, you might break that new gasket, and then gas will be sure to leak out. Once again, you can adjust this, but if it's running great, don't mess with it. Check the rubber hose, make sure that the rubber hose is not cracked, and if it is, replace it. Also, check the primer. Sometimes when you push on that primer button, it doesn't want to work. Okay, because the gas sucks up this rubber hose. When you push this, you're supposed to feel pressure, maybe some sort of sucking. If you hold your finger over the end of this hose and you push that little button, when you let go, you should feel a little bit of pressure release. That shows the primer's working. But sometimes this primer will get a little hole inside the button, and it'll leak gas or pressure, and it won't suck up gas to shoot through the intake and into the engine, through this little intake and go to the engine. And when it doesn't suck up gas, it just puts constant air in there, and that's why it won't start. So also check this button, make sure it's not leaking gas, and make sure gas is getting through here. If you take this off, you can put some water in the bottom of it. You don't want to do that very often, but you can just for, at home, just see if it'll work. Put some water in here and push that button a few times and see if anything shoots out the top. But this is your basic carburetor. That's where the filter will go in for the edger. That's your butterfly valve. These bolts right here, these are how you would take apart the this is how you take off the intake. This little long tube right here. And these screws, these are how you take off this little filter housing and you put a new one on. But anyway, I thought this would be a good video to show you because I know a lot of people don't know how to do small engine repair. And I've seen a lot of people spend hundreds of dollars for a simple carburetor rebuilt because they didn't know how to do it themselves. So this is one thing you can use at home if you really need to rebuild something. But this is like I say, it's off of an edger, and that's how you rebuild a carburetor. A little note though, if these ever get clogged up, instead of taking apart the whole entire carburetor and taking the gaskets off and all that, if you think it's just a bad jet inside the engine, if you inject water through the carburetor, it'll create steam through the jet and clean it. So try doing like a steam cleaning with some water and the hot engine, and that might fix your problem. Alright for now.